That's how we like it, Nick. That draft is pretty fast. Only 4 minutes break. Stigma, well, they have the most smoker. That's definitely confirmed. Gamers2, a team with, I think, a great future. But this game, I think they did too many mistakes. ADRD lost a bit focus there, feeding the cigar away. The ETC, we already mentioned that in the outro. So let's see. It goes to a third map, a third game here. And, well, whoever loses is out for good. Well, you can come for the next cup. But still, you want to have a part of the $3,000 right now, right here. So let's hop into the draft and see what we get there.
Yeah, really nice by Stigma to go to Haunted Mines. You know, that can be a really nice pick to kind of throw your opponent off guard and get back into a series. And now they've done it. They have tied it 1-1. And it's going to be match point here between Stigma and Gamers2. The map striking has begun. We do have Stigma banning out Garden of Terror and Sky Temple, and Gamers2 immediately going to ban the Haunted Mines out, as
yeah,
well as
bad
Tome of the Spider Queen. Yeah, bad experience.
Very bad experience. Never go mines again.
Haunted Mines being one of those maps that are considered by many in the community to allow the lesser skilled of the two teams a good chance to win over their opponents. But yes, once again, we do have Cursed Hollow being banned out as well. And Blackheart's Bay and Dragonshire, the only two maps remaining. I have to imagine it could be Dragonshire for the last game here, but sometimes Blackheart's Bay, the more experienced team, usually the favorite on that one.
But I mean, Stigma made a bad experience on Dragonshire. They lost the first game against Gamers2 there, so Dragonshire it is. It's confirmed, so we have to see Abathur ban, because I don't think they want to go for the same experience here.
Yeah, Abathur being so dominant in that first game for Gamers2, the strategy just overwhelming Stigma, and they're not able to deal with it in that first game. But we're going to have a Lost Vikings ban coming out from Gamers2. Stigma did go with the Vikings in Game 1 on Dragonshire, so not allowing that to happen. And yes, the Abathur ban once again coming out from Stigma, leaving Gamers2 to get a first pick here. I have to imagine they want to get maybe Illidan, possibly. I feel that Illidan is just such a strong pick here.
Well, I'm pretty sure if they don't pick Illidan right now, we're gonna see the Illidan-Abathur combination. We would have seen it, but Abathur is being banned out, and now Stigma, they can go for it. I really thought Gamers2 is going for the Illidan, but it's a Sylvanas, which is kind of surprising. So I really thought Stigma is going for everything to prevent those heroes to come out, and Gamers2 is going for what they had in map 1 as an advantage, what worked out for them already, but nope, it's not the case. Completely new story here.
Well, I'm not too surprised here with the Sylvanas pick from Gamers2. They did use that in Game 1 to great effect with the Abathur. This time not having that Abathur though, but we've seen time and time again throughout this entire tournament, Gamers2 love Sylvanas, they love Zagara, and they love Malfurion for that Wombo combo that they execute so very well, and has been shown time and time again to be such a devastating effect. We did have the Illidan Vala follow-up there from Stigma, getting two of the top-tier assassins now is Stigma, but the response from Gamers2 going to be that Tassadar. Could we see a Jaina here? I would not be too surprised, but actually it's going to be that ETC.
Oh, that ETC. I mean, I have a bad memory of that ETC because last map it just didn't pan out as planned. Like on the mines with the stage dive. Then again, Dragonshire is so much bigger, and that means we might see, I don't know, a better presence of the ETC right now here. I think the Tassadar pick was a bit too early because they could have still secured it later. We need one more big assassin, but Gamers2, what do we see? What do we see? We need more damage on their side.
Well, I do actually like the ETC and Tassadar in that position from Gamers2 because those heroes are so very good, not only on this map, but also in an Illidan comp. So giving ETC or Tassadar over to Stigma could be a huge mistake. Tassadar, really good for those rotations. Excellent wave clear, able to clear mid and rotate very quickly. And ETC also being such a strong pick together with Illidan, with that Metamorphosis. But speaking of strong picks with Illidan, that's going to be an Uther for the Divine Shield. But not only the Uther, also stealing away the Malfurion is Stigma. So a little bit of a snipe, but also Uther Malfurion being so very strong at supporting Illidan. Double hero Illidan, still very good.
Yep, definitely. I mean, right now, if I had to point the finger on which draft I'm more like, I like more that way around. English hard language. Either way, Stigma. It's definitely Stigma. I love what they pick right now. I can totally see this. Like a lot of healing over time on that Illidan, like evasion, maybe first aid. We have the Divine Shield if it's getting really too close. If Illidan goes full YOLO on the other team, they have enough to support him actually doing that. And of course on Gamers2 we need the answer to this. We need burst damage. The need to get this like 1-2 second window. You have to actually kill a Illidan that is so well supported and hopefully well played. I mean, we saw amazing Illidan plays this tournament overall already, especially by Plaque. I mean, he's your favorite, and I learned to appreciate his playstyle as well. But we have to see. I mean, Stigma, I like the draft. Then again, Gamers2, they are, of course, a bit the favorite coming in here. Then again, last game, as I said, it leaves a kind of aftertaste, a bittersweet aftertaste.
So interesting picks here coming out of Gamers2, and yes, I felt like they lacked the damage, and it's going to be a Sergeant Hammer, which is quite a potent pick on this map. So Gamers2 running a little bit of a sustainy comp with the Tassadar, with the Rhaegar, but also getting that Hammer and the Sylvanas for the push and the utility damage as well. And how is Stigma going to round out their comp? Is it going to be a warrior-less comp? I would imagine not. They want to pick up a warrior here, in my opinion. Double healer, Illidan, Vala, such a strong composition. Stigma taking so much of the damage here, the top tier assassins. But interestingly enough, we didn't have a Jaina coming out of either team. But here it is Tyrael and Illidan together. And I gotta say, I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Tyrael, Illidan being really popular in the Asian scene right now, in the Chinese and Korean tournaments being picked up together. But with that double healer, Tyrael is going to be quite immortal with that amplified healing.
Yep, it's pretty interesting. I mean, Gamers2, Rhaegar and a SGT, and the answer of Stigma is Ethereal. I mean, two very, very global melee heroes for Stigma. But then again, I can just hope that, like, sometimes Tyraels are very YOLO. They go in, they require a lot of attention of the supports, and then maybe the Illidan is falling short in that support, and we can just hope maybe the Divine Shield hasn't been spent yet, and he puts it on the Illidan so he makes the escape. That's the kind of thing I'm afraid of. We also have to see on Gamers2 side how well they protect their SGT. We saw today, I think by Dignitas, they were running protect the SGT and go for, like, damage based on him combo. I'm not sure how well Gamers2 can actually do this with a Rhaegar and a Tassadar, and how much damage comes out of that ETC. I really hope they have the burst damage. It's not the bursties of all damage. I mean, Sylvanas and SGT, it's nothing that actually can bring down an Illidan within seconds, in my opinion.
And speaking of burst damage, Stigma is going to have plenty of that at level 16. Not only do they have the Judgment Metamorphosis engaged, but Vala, Illidan, and Tyrael all possessing that blood for blood talent that is so nice for the burst damage coming out at level 16. So I feel I really, really like the composition here from Stigma. But yeah, I don't know, Gamers2, they really liked that Malfurion, that Sylvanas, that Zagara, but the draft is not going their way for that kind of composition.
Nope, it doesn't really look like it at the moment. Well, we're sitting in the lobby. The draft is done. Stigma, I don't know, missing? Where's Stigma?
Yeah, still waiting on Team Stigma there, possibly taking that smoke break that you always talk about there, Hefla. But yeah, just waiting on all 5 members still. Gamers2 and the observers in the lobby right now.
Please, Dr. Stigma, come to the lobby. Dr. Stigma. It's not working. Okay, I guess Stigma taking a smoker break after the draft. Maybe they're not satisfied with the draft and they just fake a mass disconnect or something like that.
Man, if they're not happy with that draft, I don't know what draft they would be happy with. Double healer Illidan with Vala as your secondary damage, with Uther and Malfurion. Like, oh man, that's so strong. Like, I really like the comp coming out from Stigma. But will Gamers2, do they have a strategy in mind? Are they going to be able to outmaneuver Stigma and secure advantages? I have to feel if they don't do that, they're going to suffer in a straight-up team fight against Stigma.
Yep, that's gonna be interesting to actually find out. And well, let's hop into the game so everybody can see what we are looking at the moment. Everything looks fine, but Stigma completely missing. I don't know about Stigma. Are they in some boot camp, gamers house, something something? Because then that would explain like 5 people just disappearing.
No idea. I thought Team Stigma was not picked up by any major organization, but yeah, I have no clue about that. Maybe just 5 friends on land somewhere in the world. But I'm not sure too much about their team. But man, have they drafted a team in this
Yep.
game?
Maybe they are like, yo guys, we just won the draft, so everything's fine. No, there they are. There they
Yeah,
are. They're coming in. Shat, Morden. Now give us the rest of them. But yeah, draft-wise, I guess the chat will also agree with you, Nick, there. It looks good for Stigma, but then again, I believe in Gamers2 because I know what they pulled off with many other drafts where we were like, oh, is that enough damage, etc., etc. It's a big map. They have some nice push coming out, and Gamers2 is now, by now at least, known as a sometimes objective ignoring team that rather goes for a manual push because they say like, okay, for example, we can give them a decay because with that decay they probably just get 1 keep if even, and by the time they get that decay we got a keep down and maybe another 1/2 HP. So that's quite interesting, that approach Gamers2 goes for sometimes. But let's see, big map, many things can happen.
yeah, and I guess Stigma not realizing that the game is only a formality, they have to play it out here, despite the fact they drafted such a strong team composition, but still waiting on 1 member of Stigma, and then we can hopefully get into this game soon. But yeah, Gamers2, in the first game, coming out really strong on Dragonshire, and Stigma having really no answer. Game 2, though, Stigma choosing Haunted Mines, throwing a curveball in Gamers2 direction, and able to tie it up 1-1, but finally the salty run back here on Dragonshire from Game 1, and it's Stigma here with the composition that I'm most afraid of.
And by the way, just for schedule purposes, for all those people who run away after this game, don't. Na'Vi versus Team Liquid. We're gonna skip the draft. They're gonna do the draft right now because now that we are in a game 3, we are at a tiny bit behind the schedule. So what's gonna happen is after this game we go instantly in the winner bracket final, and then we will see the loser bracket final to just conclude into the final. So there will be barely any break after this one. Team Liquid goes against Na'Vi, but first we find out who leaves us today. Stigma or Gamers2. After this game we are way smarter. We know who's going home and who's going to get in that loser bracket final.
Yeah, and we have to keep in mind that Team Liquid versus Na'Vi, the winners bracket finals, is underway already from yesterday. I mean, it's not happening as of yet, but it did get discontinued, and we had to resume today because of connection issues from Na'Vi. So that series is going to be tied up 1-1, and as Hefla said, the draft will not take place on the stream, and we're going to just jump straight into that game. But a good game it should be. Both those teams amazing. I feel that Na'Vi and Team Liquid have to be the 2 strongest teams in the tournament at the moment.
Yep, definitely. And well, the 10th player is not playing with us at the moment. 1 minute for Thunder, they say. Well, scoreboard 1-1. Someone says in chat. I think I updated it already. Nope, I think my overlay is already. Don't confuse me, Twitch chat. Don't confuse me. Everything's alright. 2 minutes delay. Keep that in mind. Either way, there it is. We finally load in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Dragonshire, a very interesting draft by Gamers2. I mean, Nick, our expert today here, is not so sure if that's enough damage. I have also the feeling that in a direct confrontation, I think it's a bit lackluster on Gamers2 side. Very solo draft by Stigma, but then again, when it comes to mechanics, execution, timings and everything, I think Gamers2 is a tiny bit better. and maybe that gives them the edge they need to win this game, and maybe they gonna even go for what I said earlier. Don't go for confrontation, no 5-on-5 fights, we just go for objectives, maybe stealing here and there DK, or ignore the DK, go for buildings directly, and then defend the DK off. That's something we have seen already from Gamers2, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again here either way. So, no introduction, we saw them already in 2 games. Right now, just that little clash in the mid. At the moment, it's a 4-on-5 situation, or right now it looks like one. Maybe that's something Gamers2 can have as an advantage.
Yeah, Gamers2 with the 5-man here. Stigma already preemptively sending their Illidan up to the top lane, where he will spend a lot of the game here. But Gamers2, again, with their 4-man roam, they're going to want to wave clear this quite quickly, and then get down to that bottom lane to not lose any experience.
Yep, but a nice little clash in the mid, like no real winner or loser here, and now the rotations start. They actually interrupt the Uther there, but still everybody just makes it in time. The rotations are real. There's no need even to be in the mid because no creeps left. 30 seconds from now we have the first temples coming out, or the shrines. I have no idea why I say temples, but it's, you guys know what I mean.
Yeah, and once again in the mid we have those creeps arriving, so both teams wanting to get there, but Gamers2 leaving Sylvanas in the bottom, as well as Stigma leaving that Uther and Malfurion combo. And in the top lane we did have Sergeant Hammer, ADRD from Gamers2, matching the Illidan.
Yep, definitely. So, shrines are up. Well, at the moment, nice stand here from Gamers2. They're 4-on-3. Nobody in the mid is actually rotating. Shat is just staying here. Also, the next wave is arriving, so he needs to be there for the experience. But Gamers2 actually leaves it, which means if that Illidan is winning the top line, they might actually have the chance to get a shrine painted red in the mid. I'm not saying this ends up in a DK, but of course it's something where you put a bit pressure on Gamers2. Just a tiny little experience advantage for Gamers2 at the moment. I can't even explain how that is because I thought both teams rotated properly. Let's see where this one goes.
Maybe a little bit of zoning or just a missed creep on the rotation, but yeah, traditional things coming out here from the double healer team, just running a tri-lane in the bottom, and the team of Gamers2 with all that strong wave clear doing the typical 4-man rotation. Well, more of a 3-man rotation as of right now in between bottom and middle
There's
lanes.
a bit fall from back. Maybe now Sichu. No, oh, he misses the power slide on Kren. That would have been very, very interesting. Power slide and knocking him back in the direction of his friends there. That might have been our first blood, but so far, nope. The first blood is still waiting to be announced. And with all these rotations, you're never really sure where it could happen. It really comes down to where ETC makes that little lucky power slide in the right direction. Maybe it's now here. Nope, Vala just dashing back.
Yeah, and Illidan and Sergeant Hammer in that top lane doing quite a bit of damage to each other, doing some trades, but ADRD able to hold that top shrine with relative ease with the Sergeant Hammer. But now we have Gamers2 abusing their rotations, trying to do a little bit of damage to that cannon tower in mid, and we have the counter rotation here from Stigma, but they were going to be content to just go back into the bottom lane.
Yep, that's what I like about Gamers2. They're always trying to rotate as much as possible, and if the other team doesn't keep up with the rotations, you easily end up losing quite some HP on your buildings. We see it here in the mid, like, it's not quite 50% yet, but they keep them even out of ammunition at this point, keep the lanes pushed in, and now we see it again, what I just mentioned. Yes, there, Tassadar, also nice efficiency, how he places his Bionic Storm. It's definitely nice.
Yeah, and we had to have Illidan back here in the top lane, and Tyrael taking over on that rotation, Vala being rotated to mid, so it's only going to be 2 supports in the bottom lane here for Team Stigma, and that's going to open up Gamers2 to take these Siege Giants.
Yep, I'm also curious. Oh, first they're gonna engage here on ADRD. The Illidan is coming in there. But what I'm curious about is when that Illidan actually starts the camps, because right now I'm pretty sure Stigma could be in a decent position 4-on-5 and then start taking bruiser camps just to, yeah, balance it out sort of with the experience and everything, but Illidan is not going for it at the moment. However, we have a red DK shrine here in the mid, so they need to change that ASAP. Otherwise, it's only the ETC left in the mid to claim it, to defend it, I mean.
Yeah, and Gamers2 now finally getting those Siege Giants out and able to reclaim the bottom shrine, as there's still only 2 supports in the bottom here, but Leo from Korea, the Rhaegar of Gamers2, trying to get these bruisers out. Rhaegar being the best of the supports at taking mercenaries by himself.
Yep, and that triple push here now, of course, with the Giants, like, coming in, and it's pretty nice. It's some nice siege damage they get up here, but the defense is already there. Vala saying hello, but, well, Tasada is just making sure there's not much coming, but the problem is range of Vala, especially her skill shots are very, very powerful. But top ADRD, he doesn't want to be the first blood. He makes it to the well. He should be fine for now at least, but we have again a red DK pretty much soon, because I don't think they can keep it. Rigger, well, he gets the bruiser camp, so some more pressure, and ETC is the only one in the mid to defend it. He has decent HP, so I don't think that's the biggest problem, but I think we have now the experience balance tipping over to Gamers2, just because they get the first towers down now, which puts them in level 9, almost half a level ahead. If they get more, and if they get mid, they might end up with 1 level advantage, and then forcing a fight at level 10, that might be the key to win this.
Yeah, Gamers2 definitely having the strategical advantage early game on this map, but we have to remember that Stigma's comp is all about that level 10 team fight, so they just have to hold on and get to that level 10 so they can compete in a straight up fight. And now we have Morden kind of going all in here on ADRD. Is it going to be a kill here? And yes, it is.
Oh, and I missed this one. It was really close. They dove the tower here, but I think they're gonna lose their Uther. Then in return, yes, Malfurion not there to get the heal up, which means we're gonna have a blue decay, but no one in the mid to actually claim it. Like, ETC is going, I don't know, one-on-one on that Illidan, and even if he's not going for it, there is Ethereal, and Ethereal can pretty much defend that decay spot forever, unless there is a big team rotation coming in. And maybe the team rotation is happening right now. There's Rhaegar, but Rhaegar and Tasada are also not the most effective one. And do we see it? No, Vala will interrupt him here for sure. And even, Sword is up, coming in there. Ancestral healing being used. I think that was a bit premature, but oh, beautiful. What a mosh pit into, like, silence. Or actually, it was the other way around, but it's enough for 1 kill. And now the question is, do they get the temple? At the moment, SGT, well, he's preventing Morden from taking that temple top, and that means the first DK goes to Gamers2. Not to mention that 1 level and that Illidan kill. Nice, that power slide knockback. It was a nice combination, and top, they're completely uncontested. This might be a keep and even more experience advantage.
Yeah, I had a small suspicion in the draft that we might see a mosh pit coming out here from the ETC of Gamers2, and that is exactly what we saw. A couple members there getting caught out there by the ETC of Gamers2. A very nice mosh pit, and able to capitalize and get them the first Dragonite of the game here.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised by that mosh pit, simply for the reason because I forgot to show the talent, so don't hate. Either way, mosh pit coming out, and it was very, very effective. So that DK top now pushing in with the help of ADRD, obviously, and it still got decent HP. 10 seconds to use the time. Stun is coming out, and of course a lot of peeling damage done by ADR. You have to see bottom. Well, they tried something, but Knickers, yeah, with the wave, he's just getting out. ETC in the mid. Not much actually happening after this DK came out. At least they couldn't capitalize on this one, at least as much as I expected it to happen.
Yeah, Morden now finally going to get the bruisers on his side of the map here, and what do we have here from Gamers2? They have almost that level 13 advantage, so looking like they want to contest this here. ETC getting on the point, and we're going to have a fight.
Yep, a big fight here. ETC blocking that bruiser cam, and they already lost 1. Illidan being down, Vala being super low. They have to retreat. They lose the bruisers, but maybe now under this tower there comes the turnaround, but no, I think Stigma just gives it up, and this was really bad. You just prepared the bruises for your enemy, and with those bruises, this is pretty much confirmed top keep. Nice movement there, nice spotted out by Gamers2. That's exactly what they need with their draft right now, getting ahead and staying ahead.
Yeah, they do not want to fall behind the comp of Stigma being such a threat in team fights, but Stigma kind of just getting out-rotated, and just kind of outplayed a little bit here, but Gamers2 putting tons of pressure on the map, now stealing the Siege Giants out from under Stigma. Stigma maybe looking to contest, but no, the level 13 not there for them, and Gamers2 having double Siege Giants in the bottom, but the 1 pair going to get cleaned up from Stigma.
And what do you think from now on is Stigma's like strategy? Like, just wait how it pans out, try to still soak everything, because that's what they do at the moment. Uther in the mid, Illidan top, Tyrael now flanking in, but they lose another keep, they have to give it up, and the experience is just pouring down into Gamers2's pocket right now, and they keep on going. I mean, if they ding 20 way earlier than Stigma, then this is really bad, because they can probably claim 1/4 of the base just by, for example, improved napalm strike and stuff like that. It's something very dangerous. And also, like, this Bruiser camp, are they fast enough with it? The temples I say, the shrines are spawning. Bruiser camp is actually coming up. Tyrael not in time there.
I feel that Stigma needs to take a team fight before level 15. They are on the same talent tier, but a 2-level advantage could be a little bit too much there for Stigma to handle, and it looks like we could have that fight right now. But
what we need is a good mosh pit. One good mosh pit, and I think we might see even a base already taking like crazy amount of damage, but Sisho, he doesn't really want it now. Tyrael being super low, and he doesn't get it through. He doesn't get his mini teleport out of there, and in the end he just ends up doing some damage on the Bruiser camp. Probably the best thing to do right there, which means we have a 5-on-4 situation here, and the base is already getting damaged. With the help of Sylvanas, you see there's nothing really happening. Like, basically no defense, and Illidan even getting low. Divine Shield being used for the silence, the Wailing Arrow coming out as well. I mean, it doesn't lead to a kill, but at least the tier 3 defense here is down, and Stigma, well, they are in trouble. Maybe we see now the rush for the DK by Gamers2.
yeah, it's possible, but we already have the Illidan of Stigma rotating up here, but will he be met by the forces of Gamers2? It's looking like that might be the case, but I just feel that Team Stigma is playing a little bit too timid with their team composition. They really needed to just fight, and Tyrael just getting picked off before the fight even started.
Oh, they want Illidan and Tyrael. Like, nice flanking here, but I think it's a tiny bit too late. Yes, Tyrael, they're faking it. Nope, that didn't go well. A tiny bit earlier, and they might have been able to knock back the Illidan in the right trajectory and, well, capitalize on it. But right now, well, the DK channel it. They need to interrupt it, right? Vala and Tyrael actually both going for the skill shots at the same time now. They're out of steam, but the problem is Malfurion claimed that bottom temple, so no more DK. But they have to be careful. There could still be some slow siege going on in the mid. There's a fort to claim, but oh, Malfurion, never mind that. He made the escape before the ETC came in there.
Yeah, Stigma really just needs to keep stealing these shrines back and forth, rotating from bottom to top and top to bottom.
Oh, is it enough time? Is it enough time? Yes! He gets it through! Illidan was already on the shrine top, but the DK casting timer, the channel timer, was just too fast, which means we have 12 minutes in, 1 level ahead, almost 2 levels ahead, and now a DK that makes worse things even worse. So they're gonna break the base at another point, losing those tier 3 defenses, or tier 2 defenses rather, on this map. So this is really looking bad. The DK in good shape. So do we see a keep taken down? At the moment it looks like a bottom rotation, because Rega not even part of this. He's split pushing there. Top, the Bruiser camp was just cleaned out, but they have now a DK. They have the Giants, so a 4-on-5 situation, plus a DK, plus a camp. I don't know how that one is working out. Everybody's focusing on DK at the moment, but look at the damage. A keep that doesn't even shoot back, and it's already on like 20% HP. The DK will fall in a second. Everybody's gonna get knocked back, and I guess we have a fight breaking out right after that. The DK now being down, but yeah, the fort is down, and that's exactly what you need. 2 levels and advantage, and you have catapults now. But look at Sucho, he's waiting for that good mosh pit. He's waiting for the epicst of all mosh pits.
We finally now have Stigma on that level 16 talent tier, but is it gonna be enough? We do have Gamers2.
It might happen right here. Mosh pit action. There it is. 3 people caught in, and look at all the damage. Look at all the damage. It's enough for 1 ancestry healing on that ETC. Oh my goodness, this really hurts. But Illidan is trying to get to work. Pushed back by ADRD, but the Tyrael in midst of all that action, well, he is down as well. And I think that settles the fight, unless Gamers2, they want to push more forward. Vala a bit out of steam at this point. Cicho still with decent HP, but look at all this damage. And now in this situation, 5 versus 3, that means another keep.
Yeah, it's looking like another keep here, and unfortunately for Stigma, the Uther Thunder was not able to kind of pre-cleanse himself. He got caught by the mosh pit, being one of those key interrupts needed to stop mosh pit from happening. but getting caught there in a very, very easy fight there from Gamers2, and now they're in such a commanding position and getting pretty darn close to that level 20.
And this is bad news. I mean, there's one Bruiser camp to go, and I think Rega is actually heading for it. Now, Illidan sees that. Farsight also spotted him out, but like getting that Bruiser camp just before the shrine spawn, it's again perfect execution, perfect timing by Gamers2. Looking so solid. We have a 17 versus 19 just before those shrines come up. I'm not really sure how Stigma can come back on this, especially because any fighting that takes longer than like a minute or two somewhere else on the map will lead to at least 2 lanes pushing in permanently, and then your core is starting to get chip damage here and there. It's a really bad position Stigma is in right now.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. The only thing going for them really is the fact that the Dragon Knight, if it should fall to Gamers2, that it won't be one of those 20-plus minute Dragon Knights. They may be able to mount a defense at the core, but as of right now, Stigma, they have to just play, you know, keep going around the map and trying to steal away the shrine, but both
they want the Bruiser camp, but it looks like in theory they could go for a DK. At the moment, Stigma, they suspect that they wanted to go for the DK, but yes, the DK shrine, it's completely empty. Nobody's there because they claimed the Bruiser camp. Instead, they have the timers directly, like perfect timed by Gamers2. Now everything is blue. The entire map is blue, but after that team fight, that's the question. Does that color remain on the map at the moment? Sichu is coming in. Everything is ready again. Ah, there's the Metamorphosis. And they focus on him. Probably the best target right now to go for, but full HP, Ancestral healing right there, and Vala Strafe doing so much damage, but everything is counter-healed right now, and Vala is dying. That's what you get for being so aggressive. Illidan dying as well. Like, this healing on those assassins, it doesn't work out. Uther, well, he's dead as well. This means we have a DK. It's gonna be on Tassadar, but before we see the DK finishing that game and Malfurion going down, there is a GG call by Kren. It's official. Stigma is out.
Yep. Gamers2 just showing a dominating performance, only giving up 1 death in that Illidan versus Sergeant Hammer lane. But, oh man, such good play here coming out from Gamers2 and defeating the comp we thought that had the upper hand. But yeah, Gamers2 going to be taking out Stigma 2-1.
Yep, and it comes down to what we said in the draft. By draft, I really felt Stigma is stronger, but Gamers2, well, with 2 levels advantage. I mean, this was not even the end of the story. Like, even if the game was a bit more equal, let's say by amount of DKs claimed, Bruiser camps, control, execution on the map, they were level 20 by now, almost level 21, while Stigma was just 18. Like, that would have been the next bad step, even if Stigma would have stepped the defense up or anything like that. But everything was going according to plan. Gamers2, they just proved to us how good they are in, I don't know, just executing the map. Every timer works out fine for them. Sometimes they're even too fast for the timers, and the camps are about to respawn. They're already sitting there just waiting for it, and everything started to go downhill for Stigma at that point when they fed away that Bruiser camp. They lost 2 there, they lost their Bruiser camp, and then in return, of course, they got also their keep destroyed. That was pretty much the beginning of the end right there.
Yeah, and I just feel that Gamers2 had such a commanding position for so much of that game. They just outplayed Stigma, plain and simple, and really well done by them. And they're going to be moving on to the loser bracket finals. And we have to see who will be versing them in this match here. Will it be Team Liquid, or will it be Na'Vi?
Well, it's pretty easy what's happening right now, guys. There will be only a short break. We are a bit behind our schedule. So, Na'Vi versus Team Liquid. The third game is going to be right now. So, we know already who's in the loser bracket final. It's going to be Gamers2, and well-deserved. So, sorry, Stigma. We have to go home. Nevertheless, they are a good team. Some more practice, better execution. I can see this team definitely going somewhere. Like, it's definitely not, oh my god, they're so bad. No, they're nice performance throughout the tournament, not to mention the qualifier where they really just boosted through from 0 to hero style. Anyway, the real good guys, they're coming now. Na'Vi and Liquid, absolutely convincing yesterday. Gamers2 now also being in that range, but one of those, they have to go against Gamers2. Advantage, of course, for both of those teams. They only have like 1 warm-up round before they go against Gamers2, while Gamers2, they're playing now, what, 5 games in a row, and possibly another 3 then in the loser bracket finals, and if they win, then another 5 potentially in the final. So exhaustion for Gamers2 will be high. Nevertheless, just a bit break, Nick, and then we come back for a very amazing game. I've been looking the entire day forward to it because yesterday was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the internet god was not so pleasant and we had to interrupt it. Either way, guys, Navi Liquid, 2 minutes. Be right back.
Stay tuned, guys.